Okay, so now I'm going to step through the process of doing the proof. I don't expect at this point that you guys know how to do it on your own or construct it from scratch, anything like that. So I'm going to step through the process. All I'm asking is try to follow my reasoning bit by bit. I'm not telling you why I'm choosing this or that. Just if you can follow it step by step, that's all you're doing, and then you're going to go home and try to retrace the reasoning. We good? Okay, who's up to that? Who last? You went, right, Cody? Okay, so Alexia. So everyone, look up here. What I do is you can play with this pointer here is where your attention is at. I can move the pointer up. I can move it down. You can use the cursor up, cursor down on your board, your choice. If my pointer's down there, this is the conclusion. It always stays at the bottom. So I'm going to go to proof and add a step before, not after. If I add a step after, I'm saying, oh, that conclusion is no longer at the bottom. So I can delete that. Again, just go home, you play with it. I'm going to add a step before to create space between the conclusion and the things I need to get to. So think 1, 2, and 3, that's like your starting point, right? If you guys are playing, what's that game I mentioned the other time? Scavenger hunt, right? 1, 2, and 3 in this case are like your starting materials. 5 is your conclusion. You have to fill in the steps in between, however many intermediary steps there are to get to the overall conclusion. Okay? So I'm going to highlight, without telling you why, 1 and 2. What does 1 say, Alexia?
It is between two.
So let's make this concrete. Again, think you're sitting in the theater. Alexia is sitting between. Who do you want to be sitting between? Daniel and? Ben. Okay, so Daniel, yeah, you're sitting between Daniel and Ben. And Alexia, you're actually equal to, you got an alter ego.
Caitlin.
Caitlin, because, I don't know, Caitlin sounds better or worse?
Well, because it's a C.
So it's a C, so sure, why not? You've always wanted to be a Caitlin in your heart of hearts, who knows why, right? So if Alexia is between Daniel and Ben, and Alexia is actually Caitlin, they're one and the same, then what, Rita? Who's between Daniel and Ben? There you go, so between C, Rita. D and B. Now the question was, what rule is that? There's only 2 rules to choose from. One is Anacon, which I haven't explained to you, and what's the other one, Jonathan? Substitution. What's substitution called? I have it on the board. Take a look. Elim. What elim? There's nothing wrong with my finger. Okay. There you go. Equals elim. So I go to my pointer's here. I got to click on rule. Everyone take a look up here. If your pointer's down here or somewhere else, and you try to click on rule, it won't work. You're like, oh, it's broken. There's nothing broken. Attention here at 4. Click on rule. Okay? And it gives you options. I go to elim, and I choose what again, Jonathan? Equals elim, because equals elim is the formal name of substitution. You notice how I've highlighted 1 and 2? I took that away. I click on 1 and 2. They're 2, 1. That's what shows up here. The numbers and the highlights are one and the same. That's the boxing / highlights, right? I'm saying, given this piece of information and given that, that allows me to substitute in to get Caitlin's between Daniel and Ben. Yeah? Check it now. Which one? Okay. You can do that, but in general, I recommend doing this. Verify proof checks everything all at once. So you check everything. You got the first link in your chain. You get that green check, it's good to go. That means, yay!
So
okay.
In case of elim, because you're basically subbing, doesn't matter if it's 1 or 2, 2 or 1. The order doesn't matter.
1, 2, 2, 1 doesn't matter.
Even in the future, it's not going to make a difference.
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, so like if mine on 4 says 1, 2.
2, same thing. You just say those 2 pieces of information. Yeah.
So how did you get it between C?
I typed it in.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, write this in your notes as well. You guys ready? In your notes, write in your proof. In your proof, you have access to anything above the arrow. You have access to anything above the arrow. Ships, right? So Caitlin's between Daniel and Bob. Turns out Bob's got Ben's got an alter identity. So Ben equals Einstein. Ben is Einstein. You think he's just an ordinary guy. He's actually this freaking genius, right? You sit next to him, he's just eating his popcorn. I'm Einstein. All right. So if Caitlin's sitting between Daniel and Ben is actually Einstein, then what? Okay. Caitlin sitting between. Substitute in for B with
E.
E to get Caitlin's between. Daniel and Einstein. What rule is that, Kyle?
Substitution.
Yeah, what? But that's its informal name. What's substitution's real name? Because you're not going to find it on here.
Equals.
There you go. Elim equals, and what does it highlight? 3 and 4, 4 and 3. I do verify, and welcome to your first complete proof. I can check down, all checks all the way down, and check at the goal, and that means pretty much you're good. Okay, let's do saving now. So, Aaron, how do I save this? It's the same logic as with the worlds and sentences, except now it's proof. So you're gonna save as, and where are you gonna save it? Where are you gonna save it? Desktop, so you don't lose it. And what are you gonna call it? 2.18.